All right. I want to be able to touch on this character thing again today. I wanted to edit this because I don't like that it's that. It doesn't make much sense to me. The field of vision shouldn't be this shape. It should be, should actually almost be a triangle in front of the user, or in front of the enemy, which had me thinking, if I deleted this, actually, and I did a child node, collision, polygon, 2D, does it have, no wait, no, collision shape, not collision polygon. I'd have to draw the polygon. So if I did, there it is, collision shape. Does collision shape have, it does not. Okay, so we'll delete that one and we'll add back a polygon, and then we'll zoom in and we will create a base for the polygon. And what we'll do is make something what I would assume is reasonable. A big triangle. We'll put one here. Cool. That way, when the enemy is looking, yeah, there we go. And then that can be connected. If I go here, and I'll go into, this should still be able, or this should be printing player in polygon. All right, cool. So the player goes in the polygon. I don't know that raycast matters. So the reason why the raycast mattered after I looked it up was because what could happen, get rid of that, when he looks at the player is like the player could be over here, and if the raycast is, if he's looking and the raycast comes up here and it hits this, then it won't hit the player, it would hit the wall, right? So if I wanted it to hold on. Okay, cool. I just needed to make sure I was on the right scene because I'm new to this. So let me take the player, move him, please go away, over here. Let's make the enemy's field of vision just slightly smaller. I need to move it, we can just move it down along the same line. And same with this one, move it down along the same line. Wait. I'm an artist. All right, cool. I just want it to be smaller. I can see it. Let's save that and run it. Yeah, see, No, when I enter, it is not activating. Or it's not running that script. Why not? Just because I removed it. Okay. So it has a raycast now. I need to do the most basic of things. Not this one. I need to use the other one. Godot. Let's see. Godot. Point raycast to target body. Take Godot raycast. Let's look at this. There we go. And once I did, it will start a timer, which as soon as it hits a wall, but report when it hits the player without anything in its way. This works, however, the target vision does not. I'll attach a screenshot of what happens. It looks like I'm not the only one. Since the target position is relative to the raycast position, the solution is subtract the position of the raycast from the target position. Oh. Oh. Okay, so this sets that. Let's see. If I wanted to do target, which is a vector 2D, I believe. That's what it's looking for. It's not it. I forget what it is. Vector. I'll type it in a second. It's going to be equal to the body dot global position minus raycast dot global position, and then that will be target. Now what's wrong here? Target is not declared in the current scope. Okay, let's try that. Boink. Oh, would you look at that? And then I like this idea. Every 2.5 seconds, it will do that. It'll check. What this would do. For player, which is a type player, and then player is class player. Unexpected. How do you declare it again? Player. That's silly. There we go. And over here in this, that's fixed. So I could set it to undefined. I could set a timer node inside of here. And set this timer. And then this can run on timeout. I need you to, and then, let me think. So when he enters, I need to set player equal to player. Player is equal to body. And then I need to set the state to a child node here. Call them I think this needs to have a state. Let me do this, duplicate. This will be run, and then this will be run. Cool. I'll take care of that in a second, but I want this to happen every 0.25 seconds. I don't want it to auto start, but I do want it to start when the body runs. So that will be at on ready var timer, which is a type. Timer is equal to drag that in, and we should be good there. And from there, I should be able to there we go. Chat. Cool. Awesome. I should be able to first set the target. Then I need to handle state. Okay. And I need to start the timer. And then on timer, time out. Every time it times out, I need to update the player raycast target position. I need to update the state. Okay. I also need, how do I cancel? Is there a thing dot on this? If I go in here and area body exited, connect it. Can I do timer dot stop player is equal to null. Okay, so that should stop the timer. This should get our target is equal to target is equal to player dot global position minus ray dot global position, and then this should be raycast dot set target position to the target. This looks like it needs to be a utility function. Update ray cast. This is gonna take in nothing. Says if player equals null, return, else I want you to do this. I feel like that's not indented correctly. The Python in me is coming out. Yeah, there we go. And then this should be I should be able to just call that. Let's just call here update raycast. Update raycast. And then this is going to be update raycast. Let's start with that. Let's start a timer. Timer dot start. Let's try it. Okay. Boop. Oh, look at that. It's keeping track of me. How cool is that? It doesn't move fast enough. Let's move it down to something like half of that. 2. Save it. Okay. I think. Okay. No. So when the body's entered, if what this should do is it should say if body dot is in group player, then you can call player dot or player is equal to null, and then timer dot stop. That way it doesn't call this. Yeah, there we go. So now I should be able to enter. It will call the raycast, and then it doesn't do it. Look at that. Isn't that neat? Huh. Okay. Cool. And then after that, I should be able to start the whole process of taking care of like how to chase the human at that stage, which it should be informed by the think about this for a second. In the player, I was able to don't hide the player. State machine processed input. Instead, I would like to, inside the character, he initiates the state, which creates it. Instead, I would like to go from Okay. Let's look at the state machine. It's been a while since I've coded this. Close this tab, close this tab, close this tab. Okay. I think I have to process the frame. Current state dot process frame. If there's a new state. I didn't change anything about the player. I'm not saving it. So I need to go in here and I need to say state machine dot so I think with the player I was processing input. I need to do process frame. Let's try that. State dot process this frame. Is it process frame? State to machine. Yeah, so I'll need to change the state from running to idle. I need to process the frame. That's okay. In here, frame. And that needs to pass in delta. But this needs to be state dot change state to state machine. Do I have to create a state? Okay. Inside of the player script, inside of the character script. Okay, so it is processing the physics. And I was using it inside of the player. I was passing in input. And so it enters in the player. In the enemy, the initial state is the idle state. But for the player, the second I enter in the second I enter into a process the input in the player if I'm in idle. For this, I return a state from this. So in the state, this will return a state. Okay. And then so if I wanted to process the frame, if I wanted to do it, I wouldn't change the state, I would leave it. what I would do is in the physics process, it's already processing it, but in the physics process, if I wanted to test if raycast dot is colliding and raycast dot what does turns the first object the ray intersects with? Okay. So is the raycast colliding with something? And what I need you to do is I need you to tell me what that object is. Var object equal to raycast dot get collider. What does this return? Returns first the raycast intersects or null. If no object, i.e. is colliding, returns false. Okay. Object dot is there not an is in group? Crap. I mean, let's see. What is this? Oh, can I do this? Player. If object dot is, and I need you to print colliding with player. Dunk. That's problematic. I need to be moved up a couple of 2D. I need to look at this raycast, control it, and it needs to be, whoops. I was trying to move the raycast. Move it up. Probably halfway instead. Alright, cool. Let's try this again. Doink. I see. So it really does need to be there. So there's a difference here. I don't need it to be his feet. I need it to be his midway point, which is 30. I don't know. Intersect. That's funny. The global position is his feet. I need it to be. This is a vector 2. That's funny. Vector math. Add. Here, I'll look it up here. Add. Get halfway point. Get baked. Cheesy peasy lemon squeezy. Get halfway point of character body 2D node. Godot. center by default. Therefore, to get the halfway point, you can simply use its global position. That's not true. Isn't centered with respect to kinetic. Blah, blah. Yeah, there it is. I need a offset. Calculate the offset. Multiply the extent by the shape's own. Yeah. Can I do that? Let me see. If I go into player and I did something like func calculate middle point. I want to take self dot. I would return something like self dot global position, which is a vector 2, minus. So this is giving me the foot, or the bottom. And what would give me the top in this scenario? Can you not, please? Thank you. What would give me this, essentially? Is there an animated sprite 2D height, maybe? Height. Get the height of a node. Get the height of an animated node. Get the height of an animated sprite 2D Godot. There we go. Gives me get width. Okay, so was it gonna let me just plus equals 1/2 times animation dot get height. No. What was it? Dot texture. No. What's this? On ready var animation is equal to. No. Does the character have animation already on it? Okay. So it does have it. I just need to access it that way. Animations dot. This is of a type animated sprite 2D. Cool. So now if I go back over here to player, will that be informed by that? Yes, it will. Cool. offset. Interesting. What is this property? What's wrong here? Assignment. Oh. So in theory, if I then go in here and I do player dot calculate middle point, let's see what that does. Gonk. Nope. Still nothing. It's actually not doing anything, which means in this script dot, is there a height? Get height? No. Height? No. Height? No. Is there a frame? Dot height? Can't find member height in base int. Oh, it tells you the frame. Dot current. Dot get current. Okay. Blown up. Valid property or key. Yeah, I didn't think so. That's okay. Dot. How do I get access to this dang things? Animated sprite 2D. Animated sprite 2D. Go. Autoplay, centered, speed scale, sprite frames. Those are all methods. Is there a property maybe? Animated sprite 2D. Animated sprite 2D height. Godot. I would rather have this be okay, so it does, let's see. I need to change this just a tad. Animations dot animations. Can I do this? D. No. Control D? No, didn't think so. There we go. Doobie. Blown up. Okay. What are the methods on this thing? Whoops. Need to print that just to see if it gives me something without blowing up. Too few arguments to get frame texture. What goes to frame texture? 0. There we go. Just to make sure I'm not full of it. Boink. Idle down. Okay. God, how do I wish there was some sort of formatter on this thing. Here, doink. Cool. Let's try that. That. Is that going to return the midpoint, or is it just going to go to the top of my head? Oh, foot. I need to make a vector 2. What is a vector 2? Just to make sure. This returns a vector 2. Can be used to represent 2D coordinates. Okay. So the current player's current height is equal to this. Bar foot position is equal to self dot global position. The head position is equal to just to make sure that it does in fact point at my head. Gonk. Holy cannoli. Oh, I understand. This is the size of the, this is like, so this is returned in a vector coordinate. I need to calculate. This returns a vector 2. So is there a foot dot y? This should return var middle point, these are both vector 2's, vector 2, vector 2, so the middle point should also be a vector 2, which has an x informed by, is there a new vector 2 thing, which has foot position dot x, foot position dot y plus head position dot y divided by 2, which is just identifier expected end of statement after variable decorated new. There we go. Try that. Middle point. Play. You're almost there. It's actually, I bet it's this instead. I don't know why it would be 4, but I'm not going to complain about it either. You know, very nice. Yeah, there we go, boys. Look at that. It's tracking me, and then I go out, and it's no longer doing it. Look at that. Well, hot dog, and it'll keep track of me. Nice. How nice is that? Nice. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Can I make this more succinct? Should I make this more succinct? No, I should probably just make it more, just better formatted. Space this out. I wonder why that is the way that it is, though. Nice. Go up. It's keeping track of me. It's able to do this. Can I? How do I rotate this? Okay. Cool. All right. Can I? What happens when I rotate this? Close this. Like, what happens? I mean, I bet I know I could fix that actually. If I did go here and I went in here, I moved this one and combined them, I bet I can then just pretty easily crap. Maybe if I rotate it at the feet, what happens if I rotate it from the head? Yeah, there we go. That's gonna be just fine. Cool. So I can have him like changing directions essentially as he walks in a path. Let's make this a little bit smaller though. let's transform this to 0.5. And zoom out and see how that looks. There we go. Boop. That probably needs to be pretty big. We'll undo that. There we go. If I rotate it, it's still fine. Yeah, cool. Doink. If I reset the raycast, it'll be fine too, right? If I go in here and I say update raycast, if player is equal to null, then what I need you to do is I need you to say raycast dot target position is equal to raycast. Is there like an initial position? We'll do this. At on ready bar raycast initial is equal to $raycast dot global position. This will be equal to this. That way, if I go in, boink, track. Body entered, on timeout, on body exited, update raycast. Boink, track, out. Yikers. Target position, change that again. Goink. Keep track of him. He's going. Very nice. Yeah, there we go. Resets it. Cool. Well, that's neat. Now I need to let's print the object, and see what it's colliding with. What's wrong? That's annoying. What are you talking about? Oh. Doink. Character body 2D. Huh. Raycast is colliding with Ray is colliding Godot. Get collider body.name. Okay. .body.name. Okay. Does it have anything? What does this return? It is not guaranteed to be. Stop that. Ow! Fuck. I think I'm good. Okay. that's weird. Object dot. Quit doing that damn thing. Not guaranteed to be a collision object 2D. For example, if the ray intersects a tile mat layer, the method will return a tile mat layer instance. Okay. Can you get like the specific instance? Get class. What does it return in the output? Crashed before, so it is returning a character body 2D. Okay. What happens if I put in my 2D him here, and I'll put you up here for now just for testing, and I run into it? It runs into a static body 2D. Okay. Interesting. So if I go into the script, what other methods does this have? I could add a method onto the player. Let's try this. If I go in here and I look func is player, and there's just like a pass in here. I go in here into the enemy and I say is player. Did I just name that correct? Okay. If it is, so in here, cool. False, false, false. Okay, but here, true, true, true. Cool. All right, that's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna do this here. If it has a method is player, then I need you to update state, update, let's return to idle state. The state machine has changed state, but I need to don't like the way that is going. I want in this to be able to declare in some way. So these handle whether or not these handle the ray cache. I need to be able to change this some way, but I don't feel like I should be doing it. The character handle change event, which essentially trying to remember. What I could do is I could just do func process. Was it process input? It's an input event though. What does this state machine, what does the state do? It's an input event. Can you do a optional array? Any. Yeah. Can't define multiple types. So it wouldn't be that one then. It would be process frame most likely. This doesn't feel right. Enemy GD, this controls the recast, says, hey, I'm not colliding. I need to be able to send into it a state. What the? Okay. I need to be able to send into it. Okay. I know that I see the player. Player is in vision pursue. Else player not in vision do idle. Okay. Hmm. I should be able to print parent pass. Return null. If I go in here, parent dot this should be, so that's this. Is that not a variable I can access? Dot player? No, that's okay. Because it should, player. Okay. Player parent dot player is equal to null, return null, else return run. At on ready var run is equal to run. No, wait. It's export run, which is a state. And I can drag run into here like this. Let's try that. Okay. Look at that. And out. Which means that the run script, there isn't one. There needs to be one. This needs to change. A new script into, this is going to be very similar to enemy idle, which extends state. And what it does, on ready, idle, and then same thing with this, on enter. I don't need a ready, I just need an enter. Let's just copy this for now. Idle, AC, run, oink. I don't need that, I don't need that. Get rid of those, I don't need a ready. This is gonna return idle. No. Get rid of this. And then inside of here, get rid of this. Cool. Let's try this again. Doink. Doink. Why didn't you play? Oh, I bet I don't have... Yeah. There we go. And the idle machine... Oh, shit. Run. Wait, no. If its player is equal to null, return null. Else, return run. And then in the run script, when you enter, I want you to play the animation name, which is run. Boink. Out. Boink. Look at that. Nice. It should also how do I move you now? My family account.